Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Hayward here. Occasionally in the comments of some of the videos that I do, I get people asking me to show how I do a session end to end from a lighting perspective. I think I've chosen a great session to illustrate that with today. We had a group of young ballerinas come to the studio to participate in a fine art portrait project that will result in an oil painting. So I'm going to show the process of how I captured the images, step by step, showing each light I used, how it was positioned, f-stops, all of the goodies. Let's get started. Okay, let's start with this backdrop. Isn't it gorgeous? This is a hand-painted canvas backdrop. It's about 20 feet long when you look at where it goes all the way back up to here. It is actually signed by the artist from the early 90s. It was inherited. This was given to me by another photographer, and I rarely use this backdrop, but it's kind of perfect for what we're doing today. It's made of really nice heavy canvas, and that's really important when you talk about ballerinas spinning on this backdrop here. So this is a key component to making these sessions really look great. All right, when I start setting my lighting, I always start with the fill light. The fill light is sort of the base. It's going to cover most of the area with a soft ambient base light. For the fill light, I've got my 400 watt-second strobe here, just into an umbrella. Nothing fancy. It's going to be about a stop to a stop and a half below my main stop of f8. I'm going to be shooting at f8, so the fill light is going to be somewhere around f5.6. Okay, now I'm standing from subject's position here, where they'd be on the backdrop. This is where the fill light would be. It is camera position, fill light is just over the camera. It's a little turned right now, it'd be more aiming toward me, but that's about where it would be, high and sort of 45 off the camera and the subject. And now we turn, this is the key light. The key light in this case is 1200 watt-seconds, and I have a 4.5 foot softbox. I'm going around the subject position now. This is the position on subject, as you can see, camera and fill, you can see, and then we turn 45 degrees for the key light. Height varies according to the subject, but it's 45 off of the subject, and I'm going to be using this at f8. Once again, this is a 1200 watt-second light, so we're going to get a lot of volume of light. The 1200 watt-seconds allows me to keep the light a little further away. It's got enough power. Now to the background light. The background light is a little bit of a specialty light. The goal is to illuminate the center section of the backdrop, so it makes a little bit of a natural vignette. The backlight I'm using is 600 watt-seconds, and really that's because this grid and barn doors are really going to eat up some of the light, so you kind of need enough punch to get it all the way over here to the backdrop. The grid provides very directional, narrow beam light so it doesn't spill all over the sides of the backdrop. It's a really important light to a fine art look in the way I do photography. We're going to go over here to the edge light. The edge light is 180 degrees opposed to the key light. This light has an egg crate, a strip softbox with an egg crate. This also is a 600 watt-second light. Once again, these modifiers eat up a little bit of the light, so by the time it gets all the way over here, you don't want to be starving for light to cover your subject where they're going to be here in the middle of the floor. Okay, now I have one more light that on this session I'm not really using, and that is the overhead light, which is often called a hair light. What it does is it projects the subject standing here. You'll get an edge separation from that light. The reason I'm not using it is because I did a few test shots, and when I turned this light on, I got a big round circular shadow here from the light coming down. Didn't really like it, didn't want to have to pull it out in post, so we're not using this light today. Okay, so now I'm gonna run a little footage of the behind the scenes that we did on the day of the sessions. We had a whole lot of fun. The girls were fantastic, and these young ballerinas are incredible athletes, and I'm very grateful that they provided their time for us to do this project. I can't wait to share the oil painting that we're gonna do from this session, as well as a book of ballet portraits that is just gonna be gorgeous. That's it. That's how I got the shot. If you have any questions on how I did it, please feel free to hit me in the comments. I'll answer everything I can. If you would like to see more videos like this from the channel, if you would, please give this video a like and maybe subscribe to the channel. Until next time, cheers.